everyone, and welcome to Club 3, Episode 18 of Rolling in the Isles, an FM20 British Isles Journeyman series with me, the United City FM. Welcome along. So I've played through pretty much most of February. We've got one last game to play against Rotherham today in February, and you can see we started off the month against Southampton in the previous episode where we got a 0-0 draw. Then we've had 3 wins and a draw in that particular period of time, so it's been pretty good. Blackpool was a little bit of a poor result there in the sort of bottom section of the division, but we had to play a rotated side at that point just to give a few players a bit of a rest, having gone on a bit of a run recently, and it came a little bit unstuck, to be honest. But we regained that form against Wigan in the following game, so it didn't last too long, and so hopefully that's us back and at it again. You can see that we've got a couple of months left of the season. As I say, we've got Rotherham today. We'll go and check out the league table in a second, and then we'll probably come back for the Middlesbrough game, then the Cardiff game, and then the Millwall game are the 3 that I'm thinking that we'll play, trying to get through to the end point of the season in an automatic or at the very minimum playoff promotion spot. And to be honest, I think the playoffs are almost a certainty at this point, because we've gone on a very good run, as you've seen, and it's given us a pretty hefty gap between us and currently Leeds, who sit just outside the bottom of the playoffs. So I think we're a shoo-in for a playoff position. We're 2 points clear currently of Huddersfield, who are in 3rd place, but you can see we've got an extra game in hand over them. So, you know, that's a decent place to be in as well. So I think we can be hopeful that the 2nd place spot is open to us. I think Southampton are still running away with the division, unfortunately. Having not been able to beat them in the last episode, it kind of meant that we just kept on par with them, really, rather than gaining any major ground on them. But there you go. That looks like it's going to remain the case throughout the rest of the season. So, yeah, Derby County sitting 2nd. Game in hand over those directly below us, which is really positive. And a big gap, I think, to losing our, at the very minimum, playoff promotion spot. So let's see if we can keep it up through the remainder of the season and secure this 2nd place spot and go automatically into the Premier League. There's not an awful lot else to tell you about the situation, really. Everything remains roughly as it was. You know, we're in good form and in a decent position in the league. Financially, we're all doing fine. There's a couple of injuries. You can see that we've got some fitness issues. People have been coming back from knocks, and other people have been going out with injuries, like Stretton currently for the next couple of weeks with a knock. And so we've had to rotate a little bit here and there, and keeping everybody getting game time and being healthy is a big problem. The likes of Loku Doku again in the last couple of weeks has had a bit of a time out again because he picked up another knock. And so it's a constant battle, it feels like, at the moment, just to keep everybody healthy. And it's not about the match sharpness that I'm bothered about. It's more actual injuries that people are picking up in and around training and other bits and pieces. So yeah, it's been a problem. If we can up the sharpness, obviously the match sharpness, then that's going to help the injuries, obviously, but it's very difficult to do. Every time you think maybe I'll rotate a couple of players in, you look around the squad, the league table, and think to yourself, well, I can't afford to drop the points here. Championship is a really hard division to play in. If you haven't done so, I'd suggest go and give it a go and try and find a save there, because it's really, really tough. Just before we get into this game, though, I want to talk to you about something else other than this particular episode, and that is there is another FM YouTuber called Ben DPB. That's Ben DPB. Go check him out on his YouTube channel, because he does a podcast called Ben Meets, and the latest episode dropped on Sunday, and I was the guest on it, and so I got a half-hour conversation with Ben. It was a really interesting time for me. I thoroughly enjoyed doing it. I love his Ben Meets show. If you haven't gone and seen any of it, go and check him out. Go and check that episode out. The likes of Loki Doki and Dr. Benji FM and all sorts of other big YouTubers FM YouTubers have done the show, and I'd hate to be the one with the least amount of views on the video that I go and be part of it. So if you can go and check out my episode with Ben Meets, I'd really appreciate that. I'll put the link into his channel below, and probably the link to that video below, but go check him out. He's really cool, and I think his Ben Meets series is really great. So let's go and check out this team for today, though. And as I say, we've had to make a couple of little minor changes here and there just because a couple of people are out. So the team for today against Rotherham is Bazunu in goal, Guilbert at right back, Target at left back, Story and Howard Bellis in central defence, with Joku, Roberto and Martinez in central midfield. Martinez, for those that are aware, is still really unhappy and not particularly performing very well so far because of it, but we're hoping at some point he'll turn that around. We've got McCowan on the right, Lokudoku on the left and Ida up top, who is scoring more goals, which is great. And we have a bench of Burns, Cooper, Silas, Sibley, Murphy, Murray and Clark. So let's get into today's game and see what happens. So we're going with the team talk of we're favourites for a reason, go and show everybody why. We're at home, which is one of the reasons why I put that kind of team talk out there. We've got to prove at our home games that we are the dominant force as much as we can. And we're sitting in second in the league, so we should be winning our home matches at the very minimum. So occasionally you just got to push the players to do that, really. So there's a good chance for us to do that. Rotherham, I think, sitting mid-table. So, I think that we're in a good position for today as long as we play well. And recent form suggests that we can. The structure of our side is very much settled in terms of how we play now. It's just about getting the right performance on the day. And Lokudoku drives in, and Ida, with the first opportunity, really, really close to the keeper, puts it very low to the ground, but the keeper goes down very nicely and parries it away. But a good opportunity for us, and it was a good driving run by Lokudoku down that left-hand side, and he has become a bit of a star of the show recently. His ability to get involved in our team play and make those real driving runs has been really fantastic. But he is still a little bit injury prone, and just as I say it, he picks up a knock. And you can't script these things sometimes. That's uncanny in terms of how that works out. But we're going to have to take him out again, which is so disappointing. There was nothing about his match sharpness and his conditioning today to suggest that he's going to pick up another knock. It wasn't I was taking a chance on him. He was fully fit to play. But again, he picks up a knock. So Murray's going to have to come in for him for the remainder of this game. And a knock like that, we'll have to see what that means for him in the next couple of weeks, really. What does it say? He's picked up a potential foot injury. We'll have to wait and see. We'll check in on that after the game is finished. But doesn't look great, does it, really? He's too injury prone to be the real force that we want him to be. Anyway, can't have him for the rest of this game. So Murray comes in. But we're doing okay. We're at 0-0. We had that one chance in the first half at the beginning, and then it went very quiet until the Lokudoku injury. So we are going to have to put a bit of a rocket up them, I think, and assertively say I'm far from pleased. It's Martinez is unhappy again, and he's just unhappy with everything. He doesn't want to be here at the moment. I'm really hoping that if we can get promotion to the Premier League, then all of a sudden that will magically transform his thought process in wanting to stay. If it doesn't, we'll probably just have to get rid of him at some point. It's a shame. He's a good young talent, but for whatever reason, he got unsettled and he's just not happy. Okay, he looks stressed. That's fair enough. The rest of them look fired up, so we'll chuck it back out and see how the second half progresses. And we'll probably be bringing Martinez off at some point in the very near future just to get somebody else into that position who is a little bit more focused on the task, really. But we do have a throw-in down the left-hand side, Target into Roberto, into the box, takes a pot shot, but the defender gets it very well clear, but only partially. We win it back in our right-back area, and we play it nicely around at the back, maintaining that possession and going again down that left-hand side, but it's Ida that picks up the ball, not Lokudoku, crosses it into nobody there, really, bit of a looping header. And it goes, it doesn't really challenge the goalkeeper, does it, really? And it's still a little bit disappointing. In terms of these match stats, look, we've had 15 shots, 6 on target. They haven't had hardly any in comparison to that. So we're dominating the game, but we've just got to be a little bit clinical in front of goal and find that one proper attempt. And it's Martinez on the ball into Roberto, and they play very nicely in that central midfield. Ida runs past the... Oh, there you go, Ida, our goal-scoring machine who's just shown up in the last couple of months. Drifts past one of the defenders into the box, takes a bit of a pot shot, took everybody, including the goalkeeper, by surprise, I think, really, and finds the corner of the net, which is really good. It was a very lovely early shot from quite a wide angle, wasn't it? but he caught everybody else by surprise, and we go 1-up. And I think our players deserved it. I think we've been much more the dominant force. Corner for us comes in, and there's another great opportunity for Ida. This time the goalkeeper was equal to it, though. And unfortunate, really. It was such a good, clean shot. Another corner comes in and they partially clear it this time. But again, Story picks up the ball and we're keeping the pressure on them. At this point, it's time for making a couple of changes, I think. And we are going to get rid of Martinez. The apprehension from him is not helpful, is it? So Sibley can come back into the side for him. And then we've got Gilbert at the back on the right side of defence. We don't have our other right-sided player at the moment. He's picked up a bit of a knock. So we're going to have to, again, put Cooper there, but switch him over with Target. Target plays that well. So that's fine. So we can do that for the rest of the game. And then we are going to slightly dampen and go into a bit of a cautious play for the next few minutes, just to see if we can suppress the game a little bit and hopefully come away with the 3 points, which I think we've been thoroughly deserving of today. Sibley in central midfield gets a chance to make an impact, sends it backwards unfortunately, but at least we keep the ball, and again it works its way up to Sibley. We're keeping the ball very nicely. I like, occasionally if you drop it into the cautious type of play, this is what you get a little bit more of. You get a little bit more structured, simple passing and letting them run after the ball, and they wear themselves out and we maintain possession, and it should be all good. As long as we don't make a silly error and get too complacent with it. We've still got to pass the ball well. And so far, we're doing that. And we'll see whether it's got an end result, an end product as we move forward. Murray into Ida. And good header. Really good cross. And it was just a small amount wide, wasn't it, really? But good build-up. Look at these match stats. They are so in our favour. We were so dominant in that game as the final whistle goes. And we only won it 1-0, which is a little bit disappointing. I'm glad we got that one goal, though. 68% possession, 29 shots at goal, 11 on target. Really good game for us, to show that we can dominate this type of game. If only we could have found the net a couple more times. But passionately, I'm still going to say very nice win, just because I want to boost these players' morale a little bit. And where's Martinez? Even he looked delighted at the end of it, which is something to behold, isn't it, really? After all the way through the game, he was so apprehensive. Now we get to find out what happened to Loku Doku in terms of his injury. And let's see what we've got. A 2-week layoff. Again, it's these sort of 1 to 2 week layoffs that he seems to always get, which is a bit disappointing. We are going to miss him. And Gilbert also is out for a couple of days. That's better. We like those a bit more, don't we, than the 2 weeks. But it's still a bit of an issue down that right-hand side of our defence because Maxime Collin has been out for a while as well. But yeah, there you go. Another decent win. Let's go check out the championship, and you can see that we again have cemented our place there, played our game in hand over Huddersfield as we currently speak, and got a nice 5-point gap there now. And that's something that we can really build on into the remainder of this season, I think. So as I've said before, we've got several games coming up. We've got Middlesbrough, then Cardiff, then Millwall in the 3 remaining episodes of this season, unless of course we end up in the playoffs, and there'll be some more. So in between time, I've got to play Forest, Fulham and Bolton between now and the next episode. There's some tricky big clubs in that. So if we can maintain some of this winning mentality that we've got at the moment and keep the momentum, I'll be very, very happy with that. No guarantees, but we'll see what we can do. Anyway, that'll do it for today. Thanks very much for joining me. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Click that like button if you haven't. It really helps me get seen by more people. Go check out Ben DPB and his Ben Meets series. Is really great, and I had a great time doing it the other day. Go check out that episode. Link below. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.